Hello friends, in this video I'm going to show you how I coded and Blender addon to geometrically design the staircase in some few minutes. So in this video I will simultaneously show how I measured the space required for this staircase and how I designed it. So let's get started. First, this is a Blender file, so you can easily get Blender. It's an open source program, so I have created an add-on to design staircase, so I have already installed it. So I'll just click on this stair. So in just one click it will draw a stair by default. Now we need some parameters for designing our stair. So first is this boundary surrounded by the staircase. So first what we need is the floor height. So to measure the floor height, I'll get it to the site. So the floor height means the height from the lower floor to the upper floor. So we can measure the floor height. So the floor height is found to be 125 inches. Now let's again go to Blender and input the floor height to be 125 inches. So it will automatically change the floor height to 125 inches. Now we are going to measure the horizontal distance that is available for the staircase. So by default it's 100, so we need to change this distance. So horizontal in x direction means, you can see in this Blender file, the x is colored as red. So in this figure, this red line represents the x length. So we need to measure the distance from this end to this end. So you must be clear that we are measuring the distance just from the point where the step starts to the end of this landing. So let's again go to the side and measure this distance. So as you can see, the distance in this x direction is also almost 9 feet. So I'm not measuring it so precisely because in construction some inches may vary while constructing, so I take it as 9 feet. So 9 feet means 108 inches. So our horizontal x distance will be 108 inches. Again, going back to Blender, we input this horizontal x distance as 108 inches. So this boundary had changed automatically. Similarly, we measure the horizontal y distance. So horizontal y distance means the total length covered by this staircase from this wall to this wall. So let's go to the site and again measure it. As you can see, this distance is almost 9 feet, which is 108 inches. So let's again go back to Blender and input the horizontal y distance as 108 inches. So it will automatically change its boundary. Then for the origin, let the data be as default. Another important thing is you need to know whether your staircase is going from right to left or left to right. Since this is checked in, so your staircase is going from right direction to left direction in the upward direction. So my staircase is going from left to right, so I need to uncheck this. So your staircase now goes from left to the right direction. Usually, as per the Vastu shastra, what we usually prefer is the staircase that's going from left direction and the rotating clockwise direction. So we usually put the clockwise direction for the staircase. Then after finishing these data, we need to work on these data like the tread size, riser, landing sections, the landing distance, and different steps and triangular landing or not. So if we can play with these data, then we can easily design the staircase. So to start, I prefer using the z-axis view because it will say how much space we have for our staircase. So since this black line is our boundary, so we don't have enough space to draw this staircase, so we need to decrease the landing sections over here. So since the landing sections are 8, I'm going to decrease the landing steps just by pressing this. So it will automatically decrease the landing sections in the figure and in here also. So I have reduced the landing sections to 6. So it almost seems that the staircase is now inside the boundary. So the landing length by default is given 36 inches, which is 3 feet. But usually in residential homes, we prefer more than 36. Usually we take 3.5 foot, so we take 42 inches. But now the staircase has become more bigger. So to bound the staircase within the boundary, I need to decrease the landing sections. Let's again decrease the landing section to 4. Okay, now it's almost inside the boundary. But what usually happens is that, as you can see from this side, usually if we are taking the riser to be 7 inches, it's quite slopy. So it is the maximum height that we can take for the riser. So to reduce the slope, I will reduce the riser size to 6.5 inches so that the slope will be decreased. And also the tread size is 10 inches, so I will increase this size just by pressing the mouse. So I'll make the tread size to be 11. Now it will be less slopy and our foot will be easily placed in the staircase. Now let's again look at the staircase by using the z-axis view. So in this scenario also we have not completed our staircase because the steps are out of the boundary. So to make this staircase bound in this boundary, we have got two ideas. The first idea is we can decrease the tread, but the tread side will be too small. So another idea is we don't decrease the tread size, but what we can do is we can cut this landing into 2 triangular sections. So an important idea comes in, that is to check in this button, that is landing triangular. So if we check in this button, so it will divide this section into these triangular sections, and we can increase the landing section from 4 to 6. And let's again see from the z-axis view. So the staircase is almost inside the boundary. So this is our final design of the staircase. So let's look in the 3D view. So there are 6 steps in here. A landing is cut into triangular, and here is also triangular section, and 2 steps in the middle. So it formed an open well staircase. So as per the design, this is the construction of staircase inside, with 6 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, then a triangular cut, and then 2 steps, and then triangular cut, and again 3, 4, 5, 6 steps, and 1 step at the top. So 1 step that is out of the boundary is actually the top slab. So we assume this staircase is said to be within the boundary. So there are 19 number of steps over here, and according to Vastu shastra also, we usually prefer odd number of steps. Though at first glance I have thought it to be spiritual and religious, but in a long run it has got some scientific and psychological implications also. I won't be discussing it here. You can see it in the description below. So you can just play around with these landing sections like this. Just with a scroll of mouse it will change in real time, and by this, if you have enough space, so you can just make a dog-leg staircase or an open well, and you can change this triangular cuttings also, and you can change the riser sizes and the tread sizes, and you can just design geometrically the staircase in within some few minutes. That's all about it. If you want more information, you can look in the description box below, and thanks for watching.